Hey, it is 10:16 on Monday morning. Monday morning caffeine. Dave Bowman and Randy Rhodes are here with you to have some fun. It's my fault. I'm just running 15 minutes behind this morning, so I apologize. And Randy said he can be here later than 11 o'clock today, so we might actually go till 11:15, 11:30. I'm going to open this up. Randy Rhodes is full of clients with All
Yeah,
Roads Need to Home Genealogy Services, which is a wonderful thing.
it is.
Uh, I still suggest that anyone who is interested in having their genealogy looked at, if you go to Randy Rhodes' Facebook profile, send him a message telling him you are interested, rather than getting the 15 minutes going back 5 generations. Randy Rhodes says he will give you 1 hour and go back 60 generations.
I don't know about that. About 60. That's maybe 10 at that with 1 hour.
Is it possible to find out how many generations of a family there is?
Yeah, I actually my one client, my one of my very first ones, her name was Cheryl. She her mom uh, uh, by hand wrote down their family history. She used a manual typewriter, pencil and paper. She went out in the field and she did all the research on her own. On her dying deathbed, she made her daughter promise that she would continue the work and put it online. That's when Cheryl found me through a Facebook broadcast. She came to me. She brought 14 4-inch binders that I manually have been typing into the system. I still got like 5 binders left. But some of the work someone else did for her, I never saw it before. Actually got back, I think it was as far as the year 0039. Okay. 0039. And I thought, that's
So,
bullshit.
so
That is
Jesus would have been 39 years old the second time around.
probably. And I thought, how in the hell? I mean, I've never seen that far back. So I stopped what I was doing, started working on that thing, and thankfully, the site Find a Grave, which is a very reputable site, I was able to type in the grandfather's name because this is the bloodline. And I was able, using Find a Grave, to trace it all the way back to where this guy said he found it. And it was
Wow.
verified. And I thought, holy shit, we're talking several hundred years here. And as I was going through it, the names of the people, and I don't have them off the top of my head. I got the paperwork in my filing cabinet, but the names of the people reminded me of the TV series Stargate Atlantis
Wow.
because it was like the alien names that were used in that series were actually real names of people who lived hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So yeah,
Whoa.
if you have the information and the time and the drive to do it, you can get back that far.
That is very cool. That is very cool. Have you come across? Do you often come across people? I'm just curious that 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 you find not intentionally looking for, but you find people that are actually related to you.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, one off the top of my head, the Beth. Um,
Yep.
she, yeah, she's a third or fourth cousin of mine. I have a couple other clients who wound up being distant related to me because of the marriage and kids situation. It's weird when you think about it, and I've said this many times. The DNA of the United States is very limited, so it's very easy to find relationships. Not obviously be like third, fourth, fifth. It's 6 times removed, whatever. But you're still related because of somewhere along the line, someone got married and they shared a DNA. Um, so yeah, I've found several of my clients who become my friends who are actually related to me, like Beth McCord. She's one of my cousins.
Yep. Okay. And Beth, if you're watching, good morning to you and anybody else who is watching. Uh, Not anything against Beth, but me think of admins. one of our admins got nailed because she posted a picture, I guess, of Joe Biden wearing a pooped diaper.
Oh yeah.
Under Facebook community standards, that is sexual exploitation of an adult, and she is in all kinds of hot water with Facebook, trying to do an appeal with them herself. I guess, they told her she has to wait 48 hours for their decision. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but Red Patriots for America, that group, stands usually most of the time on Facebook's soon to be disabled list. And I resolved just about every issue they had recently. So it's good to be home.
Yeah. I myself, I have to watch, what I do and repost, because a lot of my groups that I use for my ancestry are on Facebook. And I hate to say, but that is the only site where, other than going to the individual websites, where I can go to get my information, or to at least to market my services. But I can't afford to piss anyone on Facebook off by reposting a picture or a
Yeah.
comment or something. Now I've gotten out a couple of times for only, like, a few hours, like a day or two, but I can't afford to lose hours upon hours of days of service off of Facebook. Can I work around it? Sure, but there's other ways. But
Yeah.
it's a shame that you can't. I bet you, if you looked, you could probably find some type of post or comment against Trump, and that stands. But to do it against the Biden, you get nailed for it.
Yeah.
I saw a video, I think it was on Twitter, where it shows Biden walking from the White House, I guess, going to the helicopter. And obviously, it's a very cheaply made CGI of him crapping himself as he's walking. He's, the poop's coming out his back end.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that picture. Yep.
So you can tell that's absolutely 100% fake. But as I understand, looking at other posts or news, that it's not unusual for him to actually have a
Right.
shitty pair of pants at the White House.
That's I think that's Dr. Jill's responsibility. That if he's not mentally capable to either notice that he did or say something to someone, Dr. Jill should look before they walk out any door of the White House, like they were usually walking to the concert. And if in fact he did, throw a jacket or something over him, or tell him to walk backwards, back into the White House, because the press have camera people all over the outside of the White House, and they're going to snap that picture regardless of who they are. They're going to snap that picture, because even if they don't use it themselves, they'll be able to sell that picture for $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, England, their rules are different. They're much tighter on the media when it comes to the royal family, as far as reporting, taking pictures, and doing video. They're more protective of their people. But what I also noticed too, I don't know if you ever take notice to the videos when the show is a king. He's in his car. I mean, we are here. Our president is in this damn tank driving around our cities. But here's the King of England, who's in this little car. I don't know if it's bulletproof or armor plated, but he gets out on his own, and no one opens the door for him. He appears to have absolutely no security surrounding him, like the Secret Service does the president. So I just wonder if there is a lack of protection when it comes to the king, as far as Secret Services.
I think it's more hidden than than being exposed to the case because the Queen drove herself everywhere
Yeah,
she went,
yeah, yeah.
and supposedly the rumors are she didn't even have a driver's license, but she drove herself. She never had a driver's license, but she drove herself everywhere she wanted to go. I'd be that kind of president, and not 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 as much now because I'm not driving anymore for obvious reasons. But hang on just a minute. There we go. Uh, I'm not driving anymore, but when I always wanted to drive myself because I figured I was the best qualified driver to get me to where I needed to go as quickly as I needed to go. But you know, uh, now I
Yeah, unfortunately,
understand. With Trump and his Secret Service detail or other other politicos here in the United States, now it's a big motorcade, and uh, just I don't know. I don't know. I'd want
have
to
you
stay at the I'd want to stay at the White House.
have you been following the controversy over King Charles's portrait?
No.
I mean, first off, I think it's absolutely terrible. Okay. Apparently, this guy got paid quite a bit of money for the portrait, and it took several years to do it. But it's all in red, except for his
Yep.
face and his hands. And supposedly, and I haven't really looked into it, but supposedly there's some satanic um, connection to the way the painting is portraying the king.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything like that?
I haven't, but I have to honestly say I wasn't looking for it. So, uh, but you know,
I
it's like you said the other day. I think it was Friday actually. You said it that my mind just went on me. That God, it's a terrible thing. I just lost my train of thought. There was a Trump train, telling everybody to vote for Trump, but no, I lost my thought for a moment.
so
What were we?
well so the reason why the artist did so much red
Yeah, that's
is
what it was.
because the king suffered a heart attack during the 3-year process that the painting was being done.
Okay.
So that's supposed to reference that, but I'm telling you what, that
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
We really
my
gotta enjoy painting.
yeah, my thoughts is they went trucking down. We're basically following up on your comments that the M's have taken over London, which I
Yeah.
contributed to that conversation because he's now on his second term, and now that he's in his second term, I think you're right. They will expand their base around the widen out from London, and where the king really doesn't have any political authority in the country anyway. And Charles is, even though everyone knows that, Charles is never going to admit that that's true. Uh, Elizabeth, I think, understood or felt that at any time, she could take the government back. I guess maybe if it was a vote of parliament, that they would actually vote her back in as leader, and she continued to operate in that mindset that we are the royal family. You can maybe you can remove us from having any political authority, but we own most of the country. We own most of the Jews. We have, jewels. We have most of the wealth. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I meant to say.
That's it. She
I
might
did, I
also
did,
own some of the Jews.
well, she probably does own most of the Jews in England anyway.
But as I mentioned, and you just mentioned the Muslims are taking over the country of England. Okay, and I would think, um, you know, it blows my mind how the Western nations, England, Canada, Australia, the United States, and our other allies. We went to war to save our freedoms and so forth, and here we are, openly, freely giving them away. Okay, and it's almost like where are the veterans? Where are the patriots? Where are the people who fought for the independence? I know England has a no gun. They can't own guns, so they're kind of like screwed in that respect. They gave up their rights for that. That's kind of I don't know how they got convinced to give up their guns, but they did. But you know, just like the United States and England, if you correlation, you have Trump, who is loved by the vast majority of the people. You have the royals, who are essentially loved by a vast number of the people, the citizens of England. Why could they not see the picture that they're losing control of their country, rally up the troops that are loyal to them, rally up the citizens who are loyal to them, and just take back the country? I mean, the Queen, you would think the Queen would have, or now the King, would have enough authority to walk into Parliament, with his royal guards, whatever, and go up to that podium. I now declare this Parliament is cease and desist, and get the hell out of my building. This is my castle. I'm taking back my country.
Well, I don't think it will be 100% that easy. Like Craig says, King Charles is a pedophile. There are
So was
reports
Biden.
there are reports that he is. There's major reports that the United States, from my vantage point, wants to try Prince Andrew and the king's brother for being a major member of Club Epstein. Uh, I have read things that hint that maybe not necessarily Elizabeth, but other members of her family. I haven't read anything that says Elizabeth has may have been there, but and if I did, it didn't mention what she was there for. But that's a serious thing that a government that's about to be wiped out and given back to a king or queen. I think that's something that they're going to be very vocal about. That we can't have a king who's a pedophile. We can't have a king whose brother is a pedophile.
Isn't it amazing how our two countries are so much alike? Here we have Biden and his son, and you got King Charles and his brother.
Yep.
Apparently,
Well,
there's a Netflix special about Prince Charles and the royals. Okay, we be king now, and the royals' deep ties to Jimmy Savile, the UK's most notorious pedophile. So apparently, there's a Netflix special about him.
yeah, and you don't need that kind of stuff floating around if you're trying to convince your citizenry that it's time for you to take over. Plus, with Charles and us maybe not knowing the actual status of his cancer scare, the concern would be, how much longer will he be king? If he dies, he won't be king. He won't be king anymore. And you bring William up, and it's another change in a very short time. I would like to see William as king because I think it will bring a much younger outlook,
Yes,
a
yes.
more modern outlook on it. I think I don't know what more modern you can do. I mean, to me, it's really more of a, like I said, figurehead title that he, you know, he doesn't really do much.
You know, I agree with you with Prince Harry. I mean, he's young,
Well, Harry
um,
won't.
and
Harry will never see. Harry will
not
never
Harry,
see.
the other guy,
I mean, I can imagine that William and Kate will keep, for
William.
lack of putting it better, pumping out heirs to the throne to keep Harry from ever
Yeah,
ever
William's.
seeing it. I
Yeah,
don't think I don't think the English people also would want to see Harry
yeah.
as king
I
anyway.
misspoke. I meant his
Yeah,
brother, Prince William.
yeah.
It would be great to see a younger king, because, like you said, I think it would hopefully bring in the younger generation of the true British. And I'm saying true British because, let's face it, the Muslims don't care about the whole royal thing, and they're just waiting to take over the nation. But for Prince William at his age to become king would be phenomenal. I think it'd be
Well,
the first time.
I also think that he will bring to the king his mother's ideology and his mother's way of thinking, because I don't I don't feel, and you don't really see it. I don't think King I don't think Prince William is particularly that close to his father
No, no, he's not, because of the whole thing with his
in
mom.
the true way of the Windsors, the family. I think he is closer to Princess Diana.
Yeah, when his father had the affair with Princess Diana, I mean, while he was married to Princess Diana, that I think had a huge um, rift between him and the father, because you could tell. First off, the queen, the princess, whoever raises the kids, and the king just kind of like, yeah, okay, pat on the head, okay, nice kid, let him go play. Whereas the mother actually coddles and loves, and
Yep.
dresses and changes diapers and has a whole connection going on there. Um, for Prince William to see that with his father cheating on his mom had a huge rift. Uh, but I think the Prince William coming into power at an early age will help the nation. It just blows my mind where a government would allow your enemy to take over positions of power, take over territory of your land, knowing at some point in time you're going to lose control of everything, and then you got nothing. Uh, it just blows my mind. It really does.
Yep.
And I think that with me doing the family history thing, seeing everything that our ancestors did to leave their homeland, to come to the new world, to create a new life, um, to only a short 250, 275 years later, to be thrown it away. It's just nuts.
Yep. I don't. Sometimes I wonder if uh, sometimes I wonder if it's just the M's going out to prove that they could have taken over the world, and not, and maybe the head M says, at this point we just want to prove that I just want to prove that we could have done this. Yes, we have some political enemies. We will take out Israel if we would give them the chance, because we think Israel will take us out if given the chance. And maybe it's time for that to stop. I constantly wonder whether or not the M's will expand their base of of not necessarily control but influence in the House and Senate, because don't they pretty much have most of Minnesota as their? I mean, that's where Ilhan Omar is from, but don't they pretty much have most of Minnesota anyway?
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be very surprising, and I don't know what happened in 2020, but it would be very surprising to 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 them. I think if the state goes red under the reelection of President Trump, you know. which again is going to be tied up in court for God knows how long. And my question also was, what happens if they don't declare a winner right away? Does Joe Biden remain president, or is his term done? And Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who's a Republican, gets kicked up and becomes president?
Well, the way I understand it is that in election time, when it's that close or hasn't been called for either Trump or Biden, that Biden's going to stay in office just to maintain the continuity of the government. Once Trump, and be honest, I don't think it's going to be Trump, but once the other guy gets sworn into the presidency, then Biden's supposed to step down. But I'm sorry, I don't see it happening.
I know you don't see it happening, and I hope other people that are watching feel that or recognize that they have a right to say it in the live chat, come on the broadcast, and say it. I want to believe that there's going to be an election on November 5th. I want to believe that sometime during the day on November 6th, the votes will have been counted and tallied. And even if we have a Democrat Senate, when they do the final confirmation that it's going to be, well, they're this Senate is in a difficult situation because if the Democrats who have majority just think that they played enough games and they can play games in the confirmation hearing in the Senate and just give it to Biden and hope that no one finds out that Trump was elected. If they say Biden won, I think there's going to be a civil war anyway. If they think Trump won, I think there's going to be some kind of a war. I don't know if it's going to be an all-out civil war, but there's going to be an all-out something. And
see, I used to think that, but you know what? I don't think, and this is going to sound terrible. And people, if you hate me, you hate me. But this is my personal belief. I think the people on the right have lost their will to fight for what is just and right for this country. Because if they hadn't, we wouldn't be in this mess we are today. They would have. I mean, they're still showing how the election was stolen. They're still finding reports of people being counted who are dead or people who crossed the state line to vote. They're still finding this bullshit stuff that helped them steal the election, but yet nothing's been done to turn it around. So I think when it comes down to it, the Democrats will be in control. We're not going to do a damn thing to contest it, and we're going to be here November 5th on Boogie the Bull, complaining about the results of the election. You're muted.
I can't tell you because one of the dogs was singing a solo in Studio B. But if by some whatever stealing it, even actually winning it, Biden is reelected, I think Facebook is going to change, and a lot of us won't be here anymore. We'll just wake up on the 6th or the 7th, and we'll be in a long form of suspension, if not lockout, that keeps us from being here. I'm still paranoid that, I don't know, beginning of October, sometime in October, they're going to lock me out and keep me out until after the election anyway. And if that happens, they won't stop Boogie with the Bull. They'll just stop Boogie with the Bull on Facebook. We'll go everywhere else that we're at. We'll be on the YouTube
Well,
channel. We'll
if
be
you
on
get
X. We'll be on
if
all of these other places. Go ahead, Randy.
if you get locked out, you can use my Facebook profile.
No. You could actually get in trouble for that, and I wouldn't risk it because I never know what's going to come out of my mouth on a broadcast. I never know what's going to come out of a guest's mouth or a live chat comment. I will tell people in the live chat if you're ever concerned about typing something into the live chat and getting nailed by Facebook for doing so, you stand a greater chance of getting nailed by typing something into the live chat than you will if you're actually on camera on the broadcast. I was watching something once, and the guy, and it was anti-illegal immigrants, and the guy said catapults. We should use catapults, and as soon as we arrest them for coming in illegally, we should load them up and fire them back to Mexico. I typed into the live chat catapult. I love it. And I got nailed. I think I got a week off. Couldn't comment, couldn't post, couldn't do anything. So, and if you type something really bad,
you mean there's something worse than catapult?
You'll get nailed. Oh yeah, I typed into a live chat once. Matter of fact, it was on the Great American Rebellion. I typed in Rashida Towelhead.
Oh.
And Facebook flagged it for a bad comment, and I think I couldn't. I don't think I could comment for the rest of the broadcast, but I think I got suspended from commenting for another couple of days for doing something like that. I'm going to blast Facebook anyway because I have to file an appeal, like I said, on behalf of Red Patriots for America as the group owner. I'm going to have to file an appeal, and I just got done filing an appeal and getting that group clear of all the bogus group quality issues that were on it. But,
well, I tell you, I'm surprised. I did my broadcast last night for the first time on that news site, and I used quite a bit of video from YouTube to show the ancestors' life and so forth. And it's still active, so I guess maybe the video I used is not clicked anymore.
It takes YouTube a while to catch it, but also YouTube won't admit, Facebook doesn't admit, there's something called fair use. And fair use says that if you take a piece of video that was on the internet, copyrighted or not, mainly copyrighted, and you use it the way that it was intended to be used by the copyright holder, and you don't edit
purposes only.
You don't edit it. No, you don't edit it. You play it the way it was, and then you have your comment around it. That qualifies under fair use.
Okay, so I might get no because I made a couple comments during the video. I've shown the video of the this British man and woman who have a show where they go through all the castles, and they're showing the Haddon Hall, which is the home of Tom Vernon's grandfathers. And they mentioned about the marriage between Dorothy Vernon and Sir Manners. I said, "Do you hear that, folks? They said Dorothy and Manners wedding."
Well, I don't know. The copyright holders, a lot of times, I think, might even realize that there's multiple ways a piece of their video can be used, and you just got to kind of be, to me, it's not that important. If somebody took a Boogie with the Bull broadcast and cut out a clip of it and went off on me or whatever for what happened on the broadcast, I just asked to be able to come onto their broadcast and thank them for using the piece of video, giving us some free promotion, and yeah, welcome them to come on to a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. But we're so far buried down in the Facebook news feed that we have 32 people watching this morning.
Oh, cool. All right.
So
So,
I'm happy.
I was, I have now 7 clients. And I'm working on this Mindy Wilcox and his husband's, and his 9th great granduncle, okay, which is a bloodline, was a captain. And initially, when I go further than anybody else, I think, when it comes to research. But when I saw this one image, I did research on it and dug deeper and found out that there were several things about his 9th great granduncle. First off, he was responsible for just during there's a war going on with the French and the English and so forth. So he'd go over and he'd kidnap French prisoners, bring them back to his country, and use them for like slave labor. He was also accused of selling weapons to their enemy. He was also accused of affiliation with the Indians. And of all things, since it's documented, this young girl walked up and with her daddy and pointed her hand at the captain and said, "He is a witch." And she immediately fell down and went into convulsions. So he was charged with witchcraft, and he fought it and lost, and he was put into prison for like 20 years.
You couldn't fight it.
Yeah,
you couldn't fight it back then, and most of the time you ended up on Salem End Road in Framingham, Massachusetts, and tied to a stake and sent on to your just rewards. And then it always would amaze me. What if they did a second investigation after you're left to ashes and you're not guilty? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But I mean, it's the same now. It's we have.
At least you go to death row, you have a chance for appeals, right?
But we have death row inmates who get like 100 years to life in prison, and the day after they get executed, somebody in the Justice Department finally whips out the DNA evidence that proves they were not the guilty party.
The sad thing is that the accusations came from little girls. So there's a book that has a story all about him. But he's in court, and they're talking. Here's these these little girls, and as she walks outside of the courtroom, and the girls. I think the girls either went before him or went after him, but they walked out, close to each other, and the girls fell down in convulsions. And that's what they used to convict him, was these 3 girls accusing him of being a witch.
Oh,
it's like it's nuts,
I know. It's just it's too easy these days for someone to do that. Someone to point their finger at someone and say he or she did something bad to me, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's not like when you see on some of the older Law and Order SVUs where they do the investigation, the guy is found guilty, and all of a sudden they have to go back to court because they actually proved that the guy wasn't the pedophile that everybody thought he was. And I remember one episode where the teacher looks back at I think she was a sergeant then, Sergeant Benson, and looks at her and goes, "Great, you guys found me innocent, but you shafted my reputation. All of these things that I had going, here's an artist, a performer, a singer, a musician, and they shafted his career." And it's like when we're watching those shows on TV and a judge says to the jury, "Forget about what that won't be heard." You know, and I'm thinking to myself, if it was something really bad, or it does, I mean, how do you make sure everybody forgot what they just heard a defendant or a witness say in a courtroom? It's too late by the time they said it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, the testimony comes out, and it's something that the opposite side doesn't want either side to know. And it said, Your Honor, can you please have those comments strike from the record? And then he looks over to the lady who's doing the type, and he says, "Can you need to strike that?" Well, you can't strike it from people being hearing it. They heard it.
How many people do you have to strike to make sure they forgot it? Do you remember? Boom. You remember?
Yeah.
Boom. You remember?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, but what I would think though is that if it came out that the jurors came out to made their decision, and it could be proven that they made their decision based on the evidence they were told to ignore, I would assume the judge would have the right to overthrow that decision by the jurors.
I wait for the day in like some of these Trump trials where after the first day of testimony, the juries just say to the judge, "We've heard enough. He's innocent." And it's not like you said on other broadcasts or whatever that I lost my train of thought again. But basically, it was if you're dealing with a judge like Bertrand up in New York who wants to throw the book at Trump and said he wanted to before, can a jury say to the judge, "We've heard enough. We voted. He's innocent. We're not going to convict him, and that's it"? Because if a judge says no, then the jury can just, go in and stand up in the courtroom and say, "Excuse me, but we took a vote. We decided he's not guilty, and there's no need for the rest of this trial. We're not going to find him guilty." But like you said, in some cases, a judge can disavow the vote of a jury, but that shouldn't be allowed either. If it's a jury trial, the jury says he's not guilty, then that's how it goes.
I just see, you keep, seeing in the news how, everything that they're throwing at Trump is falling apart, and they're making a mockery of the state's witnesses. It's still going to boil down. It's still going to boil down to that judge. He hates Trump, and he's going to still make decisions based on his own personal feelings and not on the evidence.
Right. And a judge that should have recused himself and didn't recuse himself, that's grounds for that should be grounds for a mistrial the first time that it happened until the judge is removed. And whether or not the judge is going to recuse himself, he just removed him and put another judge in there. But to me, the whole thing of Trump indictments to me is crazy. It's just like they went looking, or want to use Donald Trump's words himself, they went on a witch hunt looking for as many things they could indict him for as they could find, assuming that if they threw 100 indictments at him, they might find the one that they can nail him on.
Yep.
And not even understanding that the rules say you can indict him, you can send him to jail, he can still be president. And I would be very concerned where New York is a blue state with a blue government, that just because he was tried in New York, he needs to be shipped out of New York to a prison where there's a less of a risk of things that could happen to him anywhere. I mean, I haven't been to Rikers Island anyway to see how it is in person, but in all of the cop drama shows that take place in New York, it's not a pretty place. It's not a place that you want to end up being at. But I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
Alcatraz Island is, in fact, a beautiful island in the middle of the San Francisco Bay, but it really wasn't a nice place to stay either.
Yeah, he might even, I mean, God forbid he gets found guilty, to save the money of having to throw out a couple thousand prisoners so you have the prison justice for Trump. I mean, they can even possibly give him house arrest for the rest of his life. I don't know.
I would imagine that he would end up ultimately serving time at some place like Gitmo, where they have
Mhm.
an unused portion, unused barracks or something, or even a military prison where he is, he can't be with anybody else. I mean, that's the rules. And his Secret Service detail, it's like Bill Buckler, kind of laughed a little when I said, his Secret Service detail goes with it. They do. They don't have to stay. I mean, they can run shifts and leave at night, and the new shift comes in, but his Secret Service detail goes with him.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. The correlation to that is on General Hospital. Michael Carinthos, Sonny's adopted son, through his marriage with Carly, got arrested for something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but Jason did something to get himself arrested so that he could go to prison, so that he could be Michael's bodyguard until Michael's protection until Michael got out. It's kind of. I mean, this whole thing is just kind of crazy. I mean, I would imagine if I would actually throw on the Democrats if by any stretch of the imagination, Joe Biden does in fact become elected the next president of the United States on his second term, he should be required by law to completely pardon in full Donald Trump from anything having to do with the office of the 45th president, the 46th presidential election, the 47th presidential election. Period. Once and for all, it's done. The Department of Justice should just have to permanently pardon him from any future investigation by a corrupt Department of Justice or through a corrupt Department of Justice. Period. But,
it just aggravates me and pisses me off that this country that I was taught to love and to stand behind is doing what it's doing to destroy itself.
He actually can, Craig, and I think he's hinted around about it that he could pardon himself. But what I read in the backgrounds to that is that any president who pardons himself is probably admitting, I mean, he'd still be pardoned, but any president who pardons himself would be admitting that he's guilty.
Guilty, yeah. I mean, just like when you take the fifth,
and,
when you take the fifth, you admit to the guilt of whatever you're being accused of.
Well, yeah, okay.
Why be afraid to answer the question? If you're innocent and you're honest, why be afraid to answer the question?
Because when Nancy Pelosi is on the stand, she expects a different fifth. So, she's not saying I want to use the Fifth Amendment to protect myself. She's saying I want to drink a fifth before I testify.
Oh my God, you're too funny. But you know what? I mean, I wouldn't doubt. I mean, the way she talked from the podium, she had to be drunk.
Yeah, I'm sorry I segued us, but she has always been one to me that has to understand. I mean, she's not a stupid person. She is not a stupid person. She just makes bad choices. She has to think, or has to have been thinking all along. At some point, people are going to realize how guilty in the J6 thing she really is.
Yeah.
And that at some point, somebody's going to come after her, and there's a good possibility that she could spend the rest of her life in a brick room with no windows at Gitmo, uh, or
Uh,
or
I,
help pay a wall down in the yard somewhere.
I'm sorry. As much as you love that imagery, um, I don't see any Democrat getting thrown in prison or anything. I mean, look at all the evidence against Hunter Biden, all the evidence, and he is still a free man to do whatever he wants to do.
Well, now he evidently has to go. He does have to face the two charges. That was the final outcome. He does, in fact, have to go to court and stand trial on the gun charge, and I believe the tax evasion or whatever you want to
And
call
he's
it.
probably
Whether or
going
not
to be
he'll be
hit.
found guilty, he'll probably
He'll have to do a fine.
he'll pay a fine on the gun charge and be told that he no longer qualifies for a gun. But you know what? No longer qualifies for a gun doesn't stop anybody in the United States of America from getting a gun if you really want a gun.
Yeah.
The tax evasion, I don't care. I don't care where. I don't even care where the money came from. I mean, if it was influence peddling for his dad, that's okay. Then nail him for it. But I don't believe that the taxes shouldn't be paid. If the IRS says we have proof of how you got the money, well, that's between the IRS and the Department of Justice to decide whether or not they think he can be prosecuted for that. But for the not paying taxes at this point, if he owes $1 trillion in taxes and he has $1 trillion in assets, then he gets stripped of those assets. I mean, Donald Trump
Yeah.
in the long run is going to lose $500 million. If he borrowed that money, he still has to pay it back. If it's his own money, he still has to make it back. So
Oh,
odds
he's
are
he's
usually once you pay that in, they're supposed to hold it and give it back to you with a reasonable amount of interest. Uh, until you get it back. But we're talking about the Democrats getting into Trump's wallet for $500 million, and by the time that they go looking in the safe for it, it's not going to be there. And the judge, again, that same judge should get nailed because he is no. I think it's the judge in Georgia got nailed for I forget, it was a judge somewhere that has an open trial with Trump going, got nailed for getting investment advice, I believe, on what his portion of that $500 million would be. And, the judge says it was unsolicited. But my thing is, be great. You didn't ask for it, but you sat there and listened to somebody. You didn't say, "I can't talk about this with you." It's just,
but
it's out of line.
I just liked, it seems that no matter what they do, Trump always comes out smelling like roses. And
Yeah.
he has his rallies. I don't know where the hell he gets the energy and the strength from to go throughout his day. But he had that rally with over like 100,000 people. He went to the other rally, and he had like a comedy act going because of the podium, and the people loved him. The people love him, and
he knows how to communicate with people.
Yeah,
and he knows how to motivate people, and and they come from as far away as they have to be wherever he is, and sit outside waiting, hoping that they're going to be one of the 100,000 people that gets in to some of these places.
I mean,
as opposed to Biden goes in, Biden books the same kind of thing, and
I mean, when you look at
there's no line waiting, and there's 6 people inside.
When you look at the response of the people to Trump, just walking out at Mar-a-Lago, and the people go nuts, doing pictures and blah blah blah, to the signatures. I can see where some people are saying that he is the savior of our nation because the way the people responded to him is the way people responded to Jesus when he was walking his way to his death, and he was doing miracles and saving people and raising the dead and restoring eyesight and so forth. Now Trump can't do that, at least not that I know of. But the way that people are responding to him is almost godlike in some respects. So what is this? I got the newsreel going on the computer here.
Okay.
Holy shit!
But I was going to read this one. Hang on just a second. Tim Scott says, I definitely believe the Republicans are just as bad as the Democrats in the White House. They only want to talk the good talk to the people, and they are not what they
Okay.
really are.
For you
folks
folks
to Craig. Okay, go ahead, Randy. Randy's got some news, so we'll cut down.
News. Breaking news. Breaking news. There we go. For you folks living in Wyoming, guess what? You guys got struck gold. 2.34 billion with a B tons of gold has been found. That's a shitload of gold, folks.
And probably found in the backyard of Biden's residence in Wyoming.
I don't know about that, but holy smokes, that's a lot of gold. So we just broke China's dominance on the gold. So there you go, folks. If you're living in Wyoming and looking for a job, I'm probably sure they're probably looking for miners right now. Wow.
So
yeah, so
China probably owns that piece of property anyway.
Yeah.
They own most of the United States anyway.
Wouldn't that suck? Yeah, you might have found the gold, but we just signed a sale with Wyoming, the governor of Wyoming, to buy that land for to build something on. Oh, it's gold.
I remember watching a video where this old guy saved his pennies and for his entire life, and he always wanted this one particular BMW, and he finally found one, and he went to wherever it was, and it was exactly what he wanted. He understood it needed some mechanical work because it had been sitting for years, but he got it and trucked it back to wherever he was going to either restore it or have it restored. And as he was taking apart the inside panels, inside the 4 doors, he found stacks of cash.
Oh my God.
Under the trunk floor, he found stacks of cash. It was something like he bought the car for like a couple $100 because of how bad the engine was, and he found something like $1 million hidden in the car. And of course, you buy it, it's yours. You get it. You buy it from a junkyard, you get it with everything that's in it.
So he was able to keep the cash inside. I tell you what, you better be careful. It probably belonged to the mafia.
Probably did. Or Hunter Biden.
Next thing you know, body found in desert.
Oh God. As long as they don't call me one day before I'm about ready to come on and do a Boogie with the Bull, tell them you can't do it. And I go, why? Because you died yesterday.
You didn't know that? You died. I can see that. You die, and then your spirit, goes to your computer and turns it on and starts doing the Boogie with the Bull. That's your spirit.
I'm a firm believer that if you look at things like Y2K back in 2000, when they were afraid, when Microsoft was telling everybody they didn't know what was going to happen with computers because they weren't going to know how to change from 1999 to 2000, and the clocks were going to be all wrong, and everything was going to happen, and all the computers in the world
Yeah.
were going to crash.
I remember that.
I'm a firm believer that all of that did in fact happen. The only thing is they haven't let us know yet that we died, because they wouldn't want to deal with the civil unrest and everything that would be associated with us all, with 300 million plus Americans finding out we died.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to just accept that we would go on, and it obviously wouldn't be like dying and going to heaven and God giving you your eternal rewards, because I don't believe that there will be a Chromebook or an Android tablet in the Boogie with the Bull studios in heaven.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be a thing. We're all actually dead, and we're that sucks. That's the making of a good what was that TV series back in the day, the black and white TV series?
Oh, I could see the Democrats doing it by just telling us that Biden won, because they wouldn't want to deal with the world devastation of finding out that Trump had won. It must suck to be a Democrat spin doctor and have to constantly create these new ways of convincing the world that a man who may not be able to control himself inside of his diaper, uh, it must suck.
Yeah.
I wonder if they sleep in different beds too.
I bet they do. I bet
I can't imagine her rolling over and going, Joe, and then you just hear.
Oh God. You're on a roll today, there, buddy.
I have to be nice, because I might not get invited to the White House, the next White House Correspondents' dinner.
Yeah.
I might be the dinner.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh. Anyways.
All right. What else, Mr. Rhodes?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to follow the Russian surge in Ukraine. There's supposed to have been a lopsided battle with the number of Russian soldiers as opposed to the Ukrainian soldiers. But again, the news is so damn slanted towards Ukraine. Obviously, they want the American people to think he's winning so that we can keep supporting all the damn shit we're giving him. But some reports I see, the Black Sea loses another ship. 15,000 Russian soldiers killed in the recent battle. Blah 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 blah. But then you see Zelensky appeals for NATO military support as hostilities intensify. So it sounds like he's winning and he's kicking ass, but he wants more money, he wants more weapons, he wants more bullets, he wants more planes. Like, okay.
He wants more money.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I still believe the number one purpose for Ukraine, for the Bidens, is the largest money laundering operation in the world. Even something that's probably better than Switzerland. That
I wonder if he's even
we're sending all this clean money there, and there must be something happening with $65 billion worth of dirty money that's sitting in Ukraine.
I wonder if he's even in control. I mean, he was a dancer. He was gay. All kinds of sexual things in his background. And all of a sudden, he's
Hitler was rumored to be gay, and just a rejected artist.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that.
Who made wallpaper?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. You don't have to be, Ronald Reagan to be elected president. You just got to have people like you and the people to enforce those who don't like you.
I think you just have to have. I think it all comes down to the right people willing to pay the money to get you elected, and just being able to convince people to vote for you. but I really don't. I really don't know. I keep saying it's a job that I wouldn't want. You know,
Really? You
but
want to be president?
I've been elected president. Call Randy Rhodes and tell him that he can have it. You know,
I think that'd be a cool job, to be honest with you.
a new broadcast. All roads lead to President Randy.
All roads lead to the White House.
All roads lead to the White House.
Yeah. It's not like,
Well, I'd do that show if I was president. All roads lead to the electrified fence at the White House.
yeah. Oh
Let's
my God.
see. Anything else, Mr. Rhodes?
No, I think that's it. I mean, we covered politics. We covered local news. We covered the weather. At least I did. It's supposed to hit 82 degrees here today, folks, which is not bad for Pennsylvania, Lancaster County. 82 degrees. What's it going to be in your area?
Let me see. Let me get it to load up. Loading. It's loading. It's buffering. You think it's doing a broadcast? It is buffering. Yeah, I want to leave where I was and I was seeing the weather. There it is. Hold on. Maybe there it is. 77 degrees, partly cloudy. Feels like it's 77 degrees outside, and it feels like 77 degrees.
So
Partly cloudy. Winds 10 miles an hour from the northeast. 81 degrees is the high. 64 degrees is the low.
So it's actually going to be hotter here today.
Precipitation. Yep. 5% chance of 5% humidity. 5% precipitation, 73% humidity. So if you go outside, it's not a dry heat.
Yeah. So just end this, folks. If anyone has any questions about your family, I'd be willing to answer the questions for free. Any question. Yeah, I mean,
60 minutes of your question.
You'd be surprised how much you can learn if you know how to look for it. I mean, I'm still. What's that terminology from Harry Potter? Gobble smacked. I think it was gobble smack, something like that. When I saw some things about Mindy's father, Mindy's husband, and so forth, and when you take the time to look and you find all these phenomenal pieces of information, it just blows my mind. So if you just have a question, you just want a question answered, reach out to me. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you. If I can, I'll answer for you for free. Then just go from there. But but it's a beautiful day today. I'm going to do some housekeeping. I'm going to work on my office, and I'm going to measure my one room for some new carpet. I haven't decided if I want to put down flooring or if I want to put down carpet. I know I do rent, so I'm just doing as improving the guy's house until I buy it myself. But
you can always take that stuff. Well, you can always take it with you when you leave.
Well, no, yeah, no, you can't take the carpet or floor with you. Oh God Almighty. So that's what my plan is. I got this one room; it's all but empty, so I'm going to start there. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do flooring or carpet. Now the landlord, if I don't wind up buying the house, landlord said as long as I pick a good flooring, he's fine with that. Now obviously he's not putting any money towards it. It's just a matter of improving it for my own like. But we've been in this house now, I guess, almost 10 years. When the house is 40 some odd years old, and I'm sure the carpet's probably original to when it first got built. So it's time to make some replacements and upgrades,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna be doing today, as well as working on my people's ancestry. Working on an idea for next Sunday's broadcast. See what we do with that.
I still think you should do Harry Potter's genealogy, because I think that J.K. Rowling, the lady who wrote the series, I think that she's not telling the truth. I think Snopes, the dark side teacher from Harry Potter, I think he is really Harry's father.
Oh.
And I think he himself is the illegitimate son of
Oh, okay, okay.
the guy with the white long beard that ran Hogwarts.
You know, there's still a conversation that she stole the idea from somebody else, and she just happened to be the one that made a success out of it.
And there's also people were really blown away when they found out J.K. Rowling was a female and not a male.
Yeah,
and that she intentionally wrote as J.K. because women writers were not looked well upon, and I'm sure that most male writers now are looking very well at the life of J.K. Rowling, hoping that maybe one day they can become something of the same thing.
The thing that amazes me is that the success of the Harry Potter has made her wealthier than the royals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Must be nice. Yeah. Anyways, with that, folks, I am going to take off here, and if you want to do the honors.
You want me to do the honors, or you want to do the honors?
I'll do it.
Well, I'm gonna do the honors because, like I said, you didn't bring me an apple fritter. You didn't bring me a white powdered donut with when you bite into it, the chocolate squirts all over the monitor.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. And so Wednesday you'll be
you know what? You know what I would be tempted to do, Dave. If you private message me your home address, I'll send you a dozen donuts.
Okay. I'll let you do that.
Okay.
And then that way I'll bring the donuts. I don't know how you're going to eat one. Well, you got to save one at you, so you got to make a baker's dozen and keep one for you.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bakery here in Lancaster called Lancaster's Cupcakes, and they were actually on this one bake show. Now they didn't win the show, but they got really far into it, and their cupcakes are like, oh my god,
there used to be a show on Food Network, and the lady's first name was Candace, and she was like the queen of the cupcake, and she launched the first cupcake bakery in the United States, and she did really. It was called Cupcake Wars, and she and two other judges judged the best cupcakes. And at the end, the two that were in the last round had to do some kind of custom cupcake
display.
Display for like up to 1,000 guests, and it always made me laugh because there's going to be 1,000 people at Disneyland, and coming to Disneyland, and they were all going to get a cupcake, and all I could figure out, I used to laugh inside my head, going, yeah, they're going to get the cupcake, and then they're going to be taken away from Disney, and that's going to be the last of it. But anyway, you want me to do it, or you want to do it? Tomorrow night is Tuesday, and Tuesday Night Live discussion is going to be Dinner at the Rhodes, because Dinner at the Rhodes is usually at 7 p.m. So we'll talk about whatever Randy's having for dinner tomorrow night. Wednesday, Randy and I will be back. Thursday, Randy and I still may be talking about what the Rhodes had for dinner on Thursday night and which one was better. Anybody is welcome to join us. Also on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, people are welcome to join us, except for the Red Friday editions on Friday. We have that staff or that panel pretty well nailed down. But Monday and Wednesday, anybody is welcome to join us. Open discussions on Tuesdays or Thursdays at 7 p.m., which means that we don't have an interview going or a special topic broadcast with a specific panel. But anybody is welcome to join us then. A rare Saturday Boogie with the Bow will start returning on Saturday, so we'll be through where anybody is welcome to be a part of there. Please don't miss Randy Rhodes' broadcast. All roads lead to whatever Randy is discussing on Sunday night. And I mean that with love, because you don't always know what Randy will be discussing, but all roads lead to somewhere. at 7 p.m. on Sunday. And from what I understand, you can catch Randy Rhodes on that other broadcast, Taking Care, that's on that other network at 7 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be a regular. He invited me just for that one show. I couldn't become a regular because between doing your shows and then do what I do and then that's just way too much. But the name of my new page and broadcast on Sundays PM is On the Roads to Discovering Our Ancestors. And while we're here talking and yakking and so forth, guess who was related to William Carson?
Who?
Me.
Not me. Oh, okay. I gotta give you names so that you can go further than you did the last time.
Yeah.
You didn't find anybody, but that probably just means that the Glovinskis probably were. The Stones and the Tapper Stones were probably related to no one.
No. To be openly honest, back then you and I had a major blow up, and I said, "Screw this," and I deleted your tree.
Right.
So I would need to recreate your tree and start over from scratch.
You and I had a Boogie with the blowout, and I deleted.
Yeah, you deleted my tree.
I deleted it too.
There you go. Okay, so
maybe I'll have to quit. Actually, maybe I'll have to quit my hour and be egotistical and discuss my genealogy for 1 hour on a broadcast.
I'm going to need your birth date and so forth to get started, but it won't take long to get back to where we were.
My luck will probably be that I'm related to this broadcaster and that broadcaster who doesn't want me on anymore, and that broadcaster who won't come on to my broadcast anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But you and I have been doing good. We're good friends, and you know what? Times are good. It's time to party. So shoot me your address, shoot me your name, your date of birth, your city, state, and your parents' information, and we'll start over.
Cell block E for exclusive at Gitmo.
Take care.
All right, Randy. You want me to do it? Oh, Our Roads Lead to Hope, Randy Rhodes, genealogist on Facebook that you really want to deal with. Go to the Randy Rhodes profile, look for the All Roads Lead to Hope genealogy group. But go to Randy Rhodes' profile and, like you said, give him. You don't even have to give him a lot of information. If you give him your name, birth date, the siblings, your brothers, sisters, their names, and birth dates, and maybe both sets of grandparents, he can go and find a whole lot from there. And like I said, he normally is giving 15 minutes of free genealogy going back, he believes, as far as 5 generations, to give you an idea as to whether or not you want him to look. If you tell him that you heard about him on Boogie with the Bull, he will give you 1 hour and find a whole lot more that will probably make you want to contract him right away. Susan, you have to go to Randy Rhodes' profile, and then on his profile, you click message and you message him and tell him that you're interested, and he will contact you and tell you specifically what information he needs. We're not actually giving it away on the broadcast, but we're just telling you that if you contact Randy, he will give you 1 hour instead of the normal 15 minutes for free that he uses to show people that they are interested and want to hire him to do his service. There is money involved. It is $250 a month. Gets you 30 days of his unlimited time on your genealogy as well, and keeping in contact with you throughout and sending or posting copies for you throughout the whole process. But there is a charge involved. It is not a free service. You can, Randy has said, if you really want, you can go ahead and hit him up for the free 1 hour. And but if you go to the free 1 hour and you tell them that's what you're there for, you're not really interested in going for tie them up for the hour and at least understand that it's going to cost you $250 a month to be a client of his. And if you want to do that, then do that. Don't just go and grab the 1 hour of his time. It's kind of not fair. It's not fair to any Facebook or any business that I kind of tease about being a sponsor of Boogie with the Bull broadcast, because we don't want your money. We just want businesses that deserve your money and that I respect to be told on a broadcast that that's a business that you should go to. Fat Cup Coffee Company, go to their Facebook page, go to their website. You will see all kinds of roasts, all kinds of flavors. They will sell you a pound of beans. They will sell you a grinder with that pound of beans. They will ship you ground, whatever you want. I believe in some cases, some of the flavors, some of the roasts can be produced in K-Cups for you. You just go to their Facebook page, Fat Cup Coffee Company, and take a look around. Go to their website, Fat Cup Coffee Company, and take a look around there. Again, if they ask when you order or ask for more information where you heard about them, please tell them that you heard about them on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. And hopefully that will help, because I will finally make time to at least either talk with them or at least exchange something and set up a sponsorship announcement. The sponsorship announcement differs from advertising. I don't want money. Advertising is I want to be paid money to advertise your goods, services, product, whatever, and you pay me to do so. A sponsorship announcement is you have a business that is fantastic and deserves to be exposed all over Facebook and all over the internet, and I want to help you do that. In exchange for doing that on Boogie with the Bull broadcast, all I ask is that occasionally you throw something at us, like a pound of coffee, that we can give away. Fat Cup cups, Fat Cup T-shirts if you have them, ball caps, all that kind of good stuff, so that it gets people to come watch the broadcast because they're going to hope that they win a prize, and it gets you some exposure because people are coming to the broadcast hoping they win a prize. Anyway, I am Dave Wilman. You are not. This is the part of the broadcast where I say you have been watching Boogie with the Bull Monday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. Have any questions, contact me, and we can go from there. You can reach me, Dave Wilman, here on Messenger, or you can reach me at boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. BOOGIEWITHBULL, boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. Yes, I do practice that before we do it. BOOGIEWITHTHEBULL, boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. And if you send me spam, it goes in the trash. If you send me trash, it goes in the trash. If you send me something worth by responding to you, I promise I will respond to you. We are live on the Dave Wilman profile, the Boogie with the Bull page here on Facebook. We're live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. When we end the broadcast in about a minute or two, we will be posted as a podcast on Streetlock, STREETLOC.com, X on the @BoogieWTBull, the Boogie with the Bull profile on X, over on Truth Social, where I'm Dave Wilman. Oh, by the way, on Streetlock, I'm Dave Wilman. It will be posted in the newsfeed on X and on Truth Social, and tweeted over on X in as well. If you know of a social media network that we should be on, if they allow embedding, we prefer that because that way we can just embed the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and whenever we're live, we will be live on that network. We're just a small operation, really kind of growing and coming into our own after almost 5 years. So we just come here and flip on Chromebooks and iPads and Android tablets and cell phones and whatever else we have to use. If you are looking for advice on computers, the last sponsor I will plug is David Novar. We call him Dr. David Novar, computer technician, but you'll see David Novar in the live chats from time to time. You can message him and talk to him because that man lives, breathes, eats, sleeps, drinks computer technology, always looking for the best for himself because that's the kind of guy that he is, but he will work with you and help you get the best as far as you can afford. He can get you deals on things that you need. So there will be money involved if you want him to do that. If not, just take his advice and go see if you can find it somewhere local to you. And that's what you do. But Dr. David Novar, computer technician, does just about everything except Androids and Chromebooks, primarily in the Windows realm. So if you're looking at coming to Windows or updating your Windows 11, he is probably the good guy to talk to. David Novar, as I said, David Novar, like I said, we call him Dr. David Novar here on Boogie with the Bull. And then, like I said earlier, with Randy, Wednesday, Randy and I will be back, as well as anyone who wants to join us. You're always welcome to join us in the live chat. The only live chat that we monitor, the only live chats that we monitor during a Boogie with the Bull broadcast are the one on my Dave Gordon profile on Facebook and on the Boogie with the Bull page here on Facebook and on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. On the Boogie with the Bull page, I don't believe you can actually comment right now because the only way you'll be able to comment on the page is once we set up the gold star system. You buy a gold star and you can comment. I haven't really decided to do that yet. So monitor live chats again are on the Dave Wilson profile, the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And if you're watching it in any group that we share it to or someone else shares it to, I can't read your comment. So if you want your comment to be highlighted on the screen and or read or presented as a valid point to any conversation, or you want to see it on the screen and hope that other people want to comment about it, please do that. We're working on it. Everything that is a good place to live stream to, that you can run through StreamYard and get all the conversations onto one screen. All those places cost money. It costs money to do it on X. It costs money to do it on Rumble. It will cost money to do it on Truth Social. They haven't figured out what they're doing yet. And we're just trying to do the best that we can. We are not like a lot of other people that you will see that either left Facebook and went someplace else and have success or don't have success wherever they go. My desire is we're here on Facebook. We're pretty well settled in after 5 years. We still draw a decent crowd to watch the broadcast live and during the week as we move toward the next broadcast. We're still doing okay, but I'd like to expand and be everywhere at once. If there's, say, 100 social media networks, we want to be on all 100 social media networks at the same time, exposing us to everybody. And then if one day some big network comes and says, no, you have to do it on us exclusively, then, maybe we'll look at that one day. I'm not looking to get paid. I just enjoy doing what I do. Hey, Tina, you have a wonderful day. I'm glad that you watched, and you're always welcome to watch. Suzanne Ricardo, same thing with you. Modern day slavery something. I cannot remember the whole name of the group. I really am getting bad to where I have to write things down before I come on. Search Suzanne Ricardo's Facebook profile and you'll see the name of the group. It's modern day. If you type in modern day slavery, it will, in Facebook search, it will give you the actual title of the group. I apologize for not knowing it, but I'm actually in. I looked the other day. I'm an admin of like 20 groups, and I'm in almost 600, maybe more. Modern day slavery awareness in America, USA. Modern day slavery, America in modern day awareness in America, USA. Modern day slavery awareness in America, USA. Modern day slavery. If you type in modern day slavery into Facebook search or ask Meta AI to locate modern day slavery group, it will bring you right to the group. Anyway, I'm going to end the broadcast on that note. If you don't like Meta AI, don't use it. Find an option so that you don't have to use it. If you use a Facebook app, the Google app, the iOS app for Apple, you are stuck with it because they fully integrated it into your search on the apps and it has taken over. You can sometimes still fool it and get around it, but eventually it will be your search on the Facebook app. For now, if you type in facebook.com and go in that way to Facebook, you still have a choice. You can use classic Facebook search, as I call it, and if you want to use Meta AI, you go into Messenger and you can chat with Meta AI. I've had some really fun conversations with it just for the hell of it. I've had some really interesting conversations where I went in and I knew what I was asking it about and what I needed it to look up, and it did in fact actually find things to help me. So maybe one day Meta AI will be an executive producer of Boogie with the Bull broadcast. I really don't know. But I like AI technology. I like talking to AIs. I don't like that one day my life may be run by an AI, but I enjoy chatting with AIs about all different kinds of things and all different kinds of scenarios. And that's just me. Anyway, Suzanne, thank you for watching. Tina Scott, thank you for watching. Dr. Craig Peterson, who is the official child psychologist to Boogie with the Bull and always has information that we can use. Thank you for watching. One of these days, we've got to get you on 15, 20 minutes. I've been saying that to Craig for probably 5 years now, and one day we will. Let's see. Danny Campbell did watch this morning, so that makes Danny Campbell one broadcast ahead of William Grant. So that means Danny Campbell has watched more Boogie with the Bull broadcasts. The 3 10 a.m. broadcasts Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the 2 7 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday, and maybe even a rare Saturday too. He's watched more than anybody in the 5-year history of Boogie with the Bull. Scrolling back to make sure I didn't forget anybody. Bill Reese, who is the god of Messenger group chats. I did see him logged in at the beginning. And scroll back far enough. Maybe Joe Burns was watching. I think you're new. Joe, you're more than welcome to watch every day. It's more fun to watch it's more fun to watch on the profile on the post on the profile on my page, because if I see you watching, I'm going to say good morning to you and hope that gets you into the live chat to be part of the conversation. As I scroll back, I don't see Bonnie Johnson came in and said hello. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. 10 of 12, and I did ask my wife earlier after she got her chores around the house done because I hadn't even started mine yet. We could go do a little bit more shopping for our trip. Right now it's up in the air. There may or may not be a Boogie with the Bull on Friday at 10 o'clock. If there isn't, then you come looking for it, then you'll know, or I'll try to post. If there is, it will end. It absolutely will end at 11:59 and be done. Excuse me, at 10:59 and be done by 11 o'clock, because we have to go off and enjoy a weekend in Daytona Beach. Craft shows and who knows, other good, fun, resting, relaxation. So there may not be one Friday. There will not be one Saturday. Even if I take my equipment with me, there probably will not be one on Saturday. Anyway, double B's for victory. This Boogie Minimal broadcast has come to an end. Yes, I apologize. My speech is getting a little bit more difficult. Not anything that anybody has to worry about. The cognitive therapy is coming as soon as it gets here. So one day I'll be able to talk awesome again.